Hello and welcome to Paxton Road TV. This is a special. We are going to go through the season review of the Tottenham Hotspur players and give them a rating, but it's only for the Premier League, so don't worry if you don't see certain players. Before I start, like, subscribe, share, comment. If you can, please leave your comments below and share this content as much as possible. We can't do anything without you guys watching, and we're going to call you the Paxton people who are watching. So I'm going to welcome my guests. We've got Darius3k in the house. We've got Mike-Hotspur Hustler, Marlon Bashman, and welcoming Callum Cabs. Good evening, gentlemen. How are we doing? Are we all right now? The season's over.
Season's over, but we're still talking about Tottenham every single day, aren't we? That's the problem. That's the problem.
There's always going to be more to talk about with Spurs. As you guys know, this is Spurs. We can't help but be in the news all the time. So, as I said, should I say, we're going to rate these players and we're going to try and get a little bit interactive where possible. So bear with us at home if it goes a little bit pear-shaped, only because technology, and I'm just getting used to doing this interaction. However, I think it can work. I think this will work. So let's start from the top then. This is the first of them. We've got goalkeeper Hugo Lloris. As we can see, Hugo Lloris in the Premiership played every single game, every single minute of every single game. No subs on, no subs off. And gentlemen, now I think we're going to have to try and see if we can go interactive on this so that we can put a score to our player. So let's get this on screen now. Share screen. Whew. Right, here we go then. See if this works. It's like a drum roll, isn't it? Here we go. There we go. Hide this one. Right then. Who wants to start? Darius, you're the first one up there. What did you think of Hugo Lloris this season?
I think it's been above average. I think Hugo Lloris has had a decent season. I don't think he's had a bad season, and I think he's not made as many mistakes as he did last season. So I gave him a 7. I think that his leadership, I think he's taken responsibility in situations, obviously not in the Premier League with the Zagreb game. But I think the most important thing about his game was his saves, his clutch saves. I remember I think it was against Aston Villa. I know obviously we didn't come out victorious, but he really kept us in that game against Aston Villa. He was integral to trying and getting a result out of those games. So I've given him a 7 because I do believe that in those games that we needed to win and the ones that were close, and there's been a lot of close games in this season. We've been winning games by 1, 2. He's been really coming through with some good saves. And I think that having him for one more year as a captain, as a veteran, knowing his way around the pitch and in goal, I think it'd be perfect for him. So yeah, I gave him a 7, and one more year of Lloris isn't going to really hurt us in my opinion. So yeah.
Darius gives Hugo a 7. All right, Mike, you're up next then.
I had him down as a 7.5 just because I thought he's had apart from, I think it was a Liverpool game where, I mean, you could argue everyone was shaky in that game. I thought apart from that, he has had a pretty solid season. Yeah, he has made a couple of mistakes, but I think they've been few and far between, to be fair. And I thought in the big games that we did have, i.e., the cup final, for example, I thought he was very good, to be fair, and he made some big saves to keep us in the game. So I thought he's had a solid season. There was talk at one point where we're like, oh no, Lloris has got to go. He's done. He's finished. But I think he recovered quite well from that little blip in form that he had. And I'd be, like Darius said, I don't think it's the end of the world if he continues as our keeper next season for one more season. So yeah, I gave him a 7.5. I thought he's pretty solid overall.
Cool, 7.5. So far around about the 7. Marlon,
I'd give him an 8. I think he's done very well this year. Yeah, I'll give him an 8. I think he saves Tottenham, especially with our tactics and formation when Mourinho was there. He kept us in a lot of games. I'll give him an 8. And I think he's a good leader, personally. I think he's done well this year.
Marlon's giving him an 8. That's pretty decent. Callum, welcome to the show. Welcome to Paxton Road TV.
Thanks for having me.
Unfortunately, you're a Spurs fan. That's your penance in life. But what do you think of Lloris this season?
I'm gonna give him a 7. I think he's had quite a decent season overall. I think there was a 1 month where he might have had, he might have been back on the booze for 1 month or so, a few mistakes in a couple games.
Back on the booze,
Yeah, maybe, but other than that, I think he's had a solid season. I don't think the centre backs in front of him help him too much, so he's not really at fault for all the goals he conceded. Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a good point about the defence.
Okay, so the 7s in the house. Well, I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna even put myself on a bit of a solo here. I'm gonna give this guy. I think he's played decent. He's made some mistakes. He has done some stuff in as Lloris does, where he makes some mistakes. But in general, I think I'm gonna go with the majority. I'm gonna say 7 on this one. I think he's done all right. He's done half decent for us. But again, is he somebody that we could upgrade on? Potentially, yeah. He's not getting any younger. What is he, 34 now? So, do you know what I'm saying? I think, yeah, 7. So, whilst in the background, I'm going to be doing the interaction. This should be, let's see how this works out, how we do it. You know what I mean? Let's see what I'm going to do here. Go back 1 step. Then we can put it up for the people. See what we've got. So, again, bear with me on the old interaction. As we go. There we do it. There we have it. And now we've got Hugo Lloris. 7 out of 10. We happy with that, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Can we move on? Let's
please.
I would have said 7.5.
I would have said a 7.5 as well. I don't think he's been as bad.
I don't know where you've gone to a 7.
Nah, 7. It's there now. It's there now.
I think he's been better than that.
What's he deserved the half for? What's he deserved the half for? That's
he's
what I'm
kept
trying
us
to
in a lot of
understand.
games, man.
He has.
He's kept us in a lot of games.
I mean, when you look at our shaky defence, he's kept the scoreline at times respectable, and he's kept us in a lot of games. I mean, you take the cup final. Take the cup final, for example. I mean, if it wasn't for him and the saves that he made, we would have got hammered, double figures easily.
Yeah,
I think there's one game.
We still lost.
Yeah. And I think Eric Dyer had a good game in that final as well,
But that's not down to him, though, is it? That's down to the team not scoring and not defending.
Yeah,
properly.
but if we won and then the saves kept him in, then we'll give an extra 0.5. But I mean, yeah, he made a couple of saves, but we still lost. So it's.
I'm at that point as well. He's not really contributed, has he?
These mans have put me under too much pressure. There you go. You got the 7.5. Are you happy? Wow, man's having to do stuff in the background to get pressurized into this.
There was one game where he played dodgy. That was Liverpool at home. Other than that, I think he's been good.
Yeah, I think. I'd have to probably agree on those lines. Myself.
Moving on. Come on, I'm moving on. You lot pushed me into that one. Right, so we've got 5 defenders here. We'll go around to interactive on this in a minute. So the 5 defenders, there's more than that. Sorry, there's a second page of defenders. But currently, what we've got is Doherty, Reguilon, Toby. I'm not even going to mention that name. And Joe Rodon. Who should we start with first then?
Let's go left to right.
Okay. Matt Doherty. Matt Doherty.
5.
Who wants to start?
Yeah.
I'm going to start from the bottom this time. I'm going to start with Callum first. What have you
I'm going to give him a 3. I'm going to give him a 3. I think he's had a terrible season.
That is savage.
I have to be honest. I was a big fan of him when he was at Wolves. Admittedly, he was playing in a 3 at the back and he was a wing back, so it's a different system. I can understand that, but he's come to Tottenham and he's not. All of this, going forward, he's meant to be good. I didn't see none of it in a Spurs shirt. Defensively, he's been poor, and he's an Arsenal fan. I can't give him a high rating. 3 it is.
Savage, absolutely. Marlon, are you going to be as savage as Callum was?
I think a 5, but if we're being, I don't know. I watched him at Wolves for about 2 seasons. I knew he weren't a Spurs player. I just think it was a bit of a panic buy. Not being real, I could have called out from the beginning. He was never going to be a Spurs player, and he's not a defender to play him 4 at the back. So it doesn't surprise me that he hasn't fit in. It wouldn't surprise me if he leaves, but yeah, I'll give him a 5. He ain't been great, but
okay, 5 it is. Yeah. 5 it is. So far, I've probably got an average of 4 then. So, Mike.
Yeah, I had him down as a 5. I just don't. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been great. He hasn't had a great season, but I don't think he's been given really a fair crack of the whip. So Yeah, I'm going 5. I don't think he's been. Yeah, no, I'm going 5. I don't think he's been appalling. There's others out there that I'm gonna that I would say has been appalling, but I think 5's
like you said. But look at the appearances: 17 appearances. He's come on as sub 4 times, so he's obviously started 13 games. Been brought off once. 1,238 minutes. If you played a full season, I think it's something like 3,420 minutes. So a third of a season-ish in terms of minutes-wise. Is that good enough for the right back we were supposed to replace Sergio with? In my opinion, no. So again,
but we're going on the basis of performances, aren't we?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So 2 5s and a 3 so far. Darius, what's yours?
I went for a 4. I think both sides. Callum makes a good point. I think he's been dead. I think he's been appalling as well. But I also think that the reason he's been appalling hasn't always all fully been down to him. I do think that Jose playing him in a formation that doesn't suit him doesn't help a player, and playing him in a 3 at the back or in a 5 at the back would have helped a lot. But regardless of that, I can't defend his performances on the pitch. I remember a certain match, I can't remember the exact match, but me and Sam were watching it and it looked like he was looking at Jose every single time to see if he was doing all right in the game. And a player can't be doing that at 28, 29 years old. So I think both sides have been made, and he hasn't been good. But again, it's not his fault entirely that he's not been good, but it doesn't justify it. You're a 28-year-old professional footballer. You should be able to sort of slot into a team and do a decent job, not really be scared of your manager and kind of cower away. So I went for a 4 because I don't think he hasn't been that great at all. And he's not got any goals or assists, I don't think. So I think he got a couple of assists. So it's not even like he has anything to show for really as well. Okay.
Well, I'm going to put myself on. I'm going to give him a 4. Again, not quite as bad as Callum's given him because, you know, he's not really been given that much of an opportunity, I don't think. But in the games I've seen him, he has looked scared. There was one particular game, as Darius has already mentioned, he was just looking over at Jose. So a 4 for me on that one. So, gentlemen, whilst I go into the background, what are we deciding on? Matt Doherty.
4.
I think 4 is good, you know.
4, yeah.
Yeah,
good?
Yeah.
4 good.
I'm not,
precious.
All right,
then 4. I'm not overly precious on him, but again, let me just come out of here. Edit. This is all right. This is. I got to be quick though, because it makes you like, you know what I mean. You got to be fast on it. Got to be fast. Right, put him in. He's a 4. And we're going to move on to the next one after that. So the next player up, Sergio Reguilón.
This one's going to be interesting.
Reguilón. I'm going to start with Mike first.
4. I think it's been pony.
Jeez. 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
He hasn't been good for what since that Liverpool game. He's been absolutely terrible. He's conceded goals, or say he's been at fault for us conceding goals. Should I say? His confidence has been shot to pieces. I think it's quite fortunate now the season's ended for him, so he can just jump on a beach and just chill out and recoup. So I'm giving him a 4 because I've just not been impressed since that Liverpool game. I don't know what's happened. Maybe he's come back from injury and he's just not been right. But done 4.
Okay, 4. Got you down as 4. Marlon.
Wow. You know what? At the start of the season, I would have said 7. But as the season's progressed, I'm going to go 6. But I'm going to stay at 7 because he's got potential. I think he's a good player. I think there's a lot of potential there. He just thinks the right coach. I just think it's the whole defense that's making it worse for him. Yes, he made a lot of errors against Aston Villa, but I think he's a good player. And he offers a lot going forward. I'm going 7.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm going on the basis of performance this season, and that's why
we're only concentrating on the Premier League because I'm not even counting that Europa and the FA Cups and all the rest of it.
All right, I'll go 6.5 then.
Oh, Marlon, you're making me have to write down 6.5 now.
I think he's
Callum, next up. Oh, he's gone frozen.
Yeah,
I thought you'd gone frozen.
Thinking
6.5.
Oh, am I back?
You're back.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 6.5. I think he had a good first half of the season. I specifically remember his game against Man City. Kept Riyad Mahrez quiet all game. A few lovely assists in the first half of the season, but second half very disappointing. Poor defensively. I feel like he's got a higher ceiling. He can do better. Beautiful misses. I like him. So yeah, 6.5.
When they've got misses like Moore, he's got decent misses as well. So you've always got to give the player extra bonus points for that. So was it 6.5? Did you say?
Yeah.
6.5. Darius.
I was gonna say it's a shame his misses was so peng. I mean, the one time he brought it to the game, he put that stinker of a performance on against Villa, didn't he? So he must be hating himself. But
I've been there.
I think we've all been there. Now. I think we've all been there. But, on his performances, I struggled with this one, because I think I put he had a bad end to the season. I don't want to discredit what he did at the start. I do believe he had a good start to the season. I think he was contributing a lot. And if you compare him to Ben Davis, it's miles better than what we had. So I'm not going to be as harsh as Mike, and I'm not going to be as nice. I'm going to say 5 because the main problem with Reguilon for me is that his game seems to be dependent on his confidence, and I know that comes with a lot of players and probably every player to a small extent. But it seems largely that if he's not confident or if he's not in a good run of form or doing well, he doesn't seem to be performing at his best. And the best players and the elite players can kind of play through those bad phases and not really let that affect them. So if you actually look at when he scored that own goal, he dropped to his knees and Alderweireld had to drag him up. So I think that's the main issue for me. If he can get rid of that and he can get a good coach in that lets him fly forward and attack, he can be amazing. He could be at the same level as Danny Rose. But yeah, the end of the season's not been great for him. So I said 5.
Yeah, there's no doubt with a good coach, he will be a good player. But if you look at his performance this season, it's not good enough, him only performing half a season. I mean, this second half of the season, he has not had one good game.
Let's not forget it's his first season in the Premier League as well. We can't forget that. So
made 27 appearances.
His form just dropped. His form dropped.
But that dropped with the team as well. You kind of have to. The team just almost dropped entirely after those certain games. So I do count Reg. I do believe that Reguilon. Again, I said that the confidence matters for his performances, but I do believe that he can play better. You notice when he was playing in the jersey, he wouldn't go past that halfway line at times, and that's not his game. So
then you can't say Doherty has been. He deserves a number. He deserves a rating of a 4. And Reggie deserves a rating that's higher.
But he's provided more. But Reguilon's provided more, and he's also played double the minutes. I think he has provided more than Doherty's been given chances, and he's not done anything.
For me, and I'm gonna interject here and come up with my score. So I'm thinking he's performed okay. At the start of the season, he was up there. He was doing bits and pieces, and I thought, this guy's good. Real Madrid, they've let something go, but I think as the season's gone off, I think I can understand now why they maybe. I don't know if he's going to be able to perform under the highest pressure. For that reason, I'm going to go over 5. I'm going to go over 5 as well. So what we thinking then, gentlemen? We've got. I'll tell you what you've given me. Callum 6.5, Marlon 6.5, Mike's 4, Darius 4, me 5. So we're going to have to find a score to agree on. What's it going to be?
I said 5.
5.56, one of the two.
5.5 sounds right to me as well.
5.
We're being very generous with him, but I'm happy to go with what you guys say. I'm not. I honestly, for Tottenham Hotspurs.
But imagine, look at Davis's performance. You can't tell me that Davis is any better than Reguilon. And Reguilon, even if Reguilon's having a bad game, he provides a lot more than Davis will down that left-hand side.
I agree.
100%.
I do agree in terms of what Reggie potentially can bring to us in terms of his overall game. But if we're going on performance this season, I just think he's been appalling since second half of the season. I just think it's just not been good enough.
5.5 it is. They've got.
We're being kind. Paxton's being kind today.
Paxton is being very, very
mate,
kind.
We haven't got into the players yet. Don't worry. We haven't got into the real players yet.
All right, then. So let's have a look at the next one. Toby Alderweireld. Callum.
I'm gonna give him a 5.5. I still think he's our best centre back. He's had an average season. He's definitely declining. He's getting older. I think the penalty he gave away against Leicester was very sloppy. There's been a few of their moments this season, but he is still the best of a bad bunch right now. But yeah, average season, 5.5.
5.5. Got you down then. Gonna go up next one, Marlon.
I think maybe a 6.5. I think,
You're very
as
generous.
Callum said, he is the best. Yeah, I've been a bit generous recently. It's all right though. It's gonna get worse. I think he's been good. I think he's been hard done by, especially with Mourinho. I think that's a bit of a personal issue there. I think I heard something with a child. He went to see the birth of his child where he initially got dropped or something like that. But I think he ain't been that bad. And even the other day with the penalty, that could happen to anyone. So I can't really knock him. I'd say a 6.5.
Okay. 6.5.
The next player is going to be interesting.
Mike.
I think Toby's been one of our better players in general. And I think you look at some of the scores that we've given him so far, and then we're comparing. I mean, when we give Reguilon a 5.5 and we're only giving Toby a 6 or 6.5. Come on, let's be honest here. Toby has not been anywhere as bad as Reggie. So I'm going on the basis. I think he's been one of our better players, and I'm going to give him a 7. I think it's been solid.
Mike's not having Reggie at all today. He's not.
I just don't see how we can put him anywhere near that same bracket as Reggie. 5.5, and then we're going to put Toby as a 6. Come on, lads.
Darius.
You're killing me out here. You're killing me out here.
I don't know, you know. I think I've rated him too highly. And the reason I think I've rated him too highly is because of the absolute dross surrounding him. And I believe that when I watch Toby perform, because he has to put up with number 15 and number 6, it's like, how can you not look good in front of those, like next to those players? So when I look at the score I've given him, I feel like I've been way too nice to him. I've given him a 7. And the only reason I've given him a 7 is because I've said he's the best of a bad bunch. But that doesn't really determine his performances, because I do believe that he hasn't been as good as he has been. And obviously that is coming with age. He's made a few silly mistakes. Again, the penalty that he conceded recently where he stuck his leg out and tripped someone up, and it made no sense to me why he would do that. So I think me giving him a 7 is because of other performances around him. But if we didn't have him in that team, we'd probably be 10th, 11th, 12th place now. So that's the only reason I've rated him so highly. But it is down to the surrounding players. But I think that he's been so integral. If we didn't have him, we'd be finished. We'd be absolutely finished. So I think that's the only reason I've rated him so highly. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say 7 for me.
You know what? For me, I'm going to go Toby. I think he's been our best defender. I think depending on his partner, he can look better with certain players. There's certain players he plays with, it makes him look absolutely stink. But for that reason, being our best defender, it'd be harsh to give him anything close to. I'm going to have to go with a 7, you know. I'm going to have to go with a 7 on that one. Just for the fact that, yeah, I think he has been our best defender. And is he gonna be he's not really a leader as such, but yeah, 7. So we're gonna have to come up with a score then, gentlemen, that we're agreed on. And I know you lot, I'll just give you what we've got. We've got 5.5 from Callum, 6.5 from Marlon, 7 from Mike, 7 from Darius, 7 from me.
I think 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. I was thinking 6.5. Because I do think that Toby, it really is dependent on who's next to him. Because some days we've said that Toby's been stinky, and then sometimes we said Toby's had a worldie, and it really is dependent on who's next to him. So I think 6.5 is good, just above average, and our best centre back. So
are we agreed on 6.5, gentlemen?
Yeah.
You think that's Mike's not happy. Mike's not
having it.
I think against physical strikers,
I mean, who is it? What game is he actually been pouring?
Against Antonio, against Danny Ings,
yeah,
man on his arse a few times.
He's not been great in a few games, and that is down to his speed, his lack of speed.
How many games has he played this season?
We can see. I think he's played 20 odd games, hasn't he?
Gentlemen, this is going to be a long show.
Mike's not happy.
He's not happy. He's not happy.
I'm not having Toby anywhere near a score of Reggie at 5.5.
Mike,
how many games has he
the
played?
regular agenda. That's what it is.
Mike, I know you don't like this, but let's gonna have to give him. You can do damage on the next player. The next player, I think this is going to be one of the ones where we can. You know what I mean? He's not happy still.
6.5.
Right,
we give Reggie a 5.5. We are.
I'm going to start first on this bloody one here. Number 24. Oh God. What can I say? What can I say about this player? Davinson Sanchez. I'll have to use his name because I'm off screen at the moment. I just think I don't know. I don't think he's good enough for Spurs. I don't think his confidence is there. I think his positioning is terrible. He seems to always want to be chasing around the pitch. He doesn't have any positional sense. He's not very good. For that reason, I'm going to, because of giving some 3, he's got to be a 3 for me. I'm sorry. I can't give him any more than that. I don't want to give him any more than that. I was going to give him a 2, but that'd be really taking a piss. But yeah, 3 for me. Darius?
I'm going to keep this one nice and short. 3, and the only thing I put was the Man City game. If you watch what he did against Man City and Gundogan, you can't rate him higher than... I was going to go 2, but the only reason I didn't go 2 is because he actually performs in games that he doesn't need to defend in. Like, he actually looks decent in games he doesn't need to defend in. The other person we're going to talk about in centre-back doesn't look good in games that we don't need to defend in. So I'm going to say 3 and Man City. That's all you need to know, Man City.
Mike?
Yeah, I had him at a 3 as well, to be fair.
This should be easy then.
I'm not even going to waste my time on saying anything more than what you guys have said. We all know what he's about and his faults. I mean, he had a Leicester game. He got us back into that Leicester game. I think the Vardy penalty was a joke, but yeah, 3. 3
it is then. I think 3 is looking like it's probably going to be the way to go on this, but we'll have to come to Marlon as well. So Marlon?
I was one of his biggest defenders when he was playing. I used to think, yeah, Sanchez was all right, but there was a game before. There was a game he just had a bit of a mad moment. It weren't Arsenal. What game?
It was Man City, my friend, when he went to sleep on the pitch.
No, I allowed him that. That didn't happen to anyone. No, I gave him that. I felt sorry for him. Then there was another game. I was just like, no, I can't take this guy no more. But yeah, no, but I think I've had enough of it. He panics, and then I blame the first goal on Sunday to him. Vardy's old, and you're young. How is Vardy still outpacing you, and you make Toby give away the penalty? And then the second goal, that penalty, I was like, what the hell are you doing? So
I don't think that was his fault, though, that penalty. I think Vardy's just used his experience, got across him. Then he's hugged his arm, and he's gone down clever. And he's
I agree, but don't do
put your
silly
arm on the player, and you know what's going to happen, especially James. Yeah, positioning as well.
Don't do nothing. Yeah,
could have avoided it.
Yeah, don't do nothing silly if you're the last man. So I'll say 3.5. Let me be nice.
Marlon, why are you adding that 3.5 to be difficult for him? I don't know why you've gone and done that business, man. Because I'm now gonna. Well, no, I think we have to give him a 3 now. Come on, between us all, there's no way we can't give him any more than a 3. I'm not even putting no point nothing onto him. He don't deserve a point nothing. So I'm just gonna edit that in the background as we speak, and he does get the 3. Oh dear.
Like Darius said, against Man City, man's eating grass. It's embarrassing.
It's etched in history. Like I'll never forget when I seen that. I'll never forget it now.
It was comical. Man.
A glitch in the FIFA game.
So we got 3. Okay, Joe Rodon. Start from the top again. Darius, talk to me about
again. Rodon. I'm not gonna rant on or go on for long about Joe Rodon. I just think he's not been given the opportunity. He's our second best centre back. I gave him a 6. I really believe that he is our second best centre back, and with a partner, he can be a very, very, very good centre back. At Swansea, he was how old is he? 22. At Swansea, he was a captain, leading that team and doing really well. And some people even saying he was one of the best centre backs in that championship. So I'm just gonna say in brackets I put JA for Joachim Anderson. If we can get him in, he seems to want to come to Tottenham. If we can get him in, him and Rodon as a centre back partnership will be 100,000 times better than what we've had this season. So I'm gonna go 6, and he's got potential to be way, way higher in the future.
Only got 729 minutes though. You know what I mean?
I think apart from, like I said, he made 2 mistakes in the City and Chelsea game. They were his first. One of them was his first games. The other one was against Man City. Apart from that, he didn't really put a foot out of line, and he wasn't given the opportunity. He didn't get put in the Europa League squad because Jose seemed to deem him not ready. It's not really his fault that he's been given such little minutes. I don't know what my man Mason was doing for the last few games, wanting to play his mate Dyer. So it's not really his fault he's got 729 minutes. We panic bought him. He's still good enough to play for us. He's proven that he's our second best centre back. So I think regardless of the 729 minutes, a 6 for me is a perfectly good score.
Okay, Mike.
I had Joe at I gave him a 7. I think I think he's, apart from, there has been a couple of mistakes at the very most, but take them away, and I think he's been pretty solid for us. I've been quite impressed. In fact, I've been very impressed with sort of how he's performed for us and how he carries himself on the pitch. He's obviously, there's more to come from him, I believe, but I think he's been solid pretty much. He's learned from his mistakes, and you have to accept at his age, the mistakes are going to come in the Premier League. But as long as he learns from them, and they sort of like aren't consistent sort of mistakes that he's making like some others do, then yeah, I'm okay with that. But yeah, I gave him a 7. I thought he's been pretty solid, to be fair to him. Same with, as I say, same with Toby.
Come to Marlon now. Got you down as a 7, Mike.
Sam, no warning, man.
No warning. Sorry, man.
I just feel it coming, man.
You woke up. That's how we do. It's live. It's live. We just go straight in. No problems. Come on, Marlon.
I think Rodon, I'll give him a 6. I still think he's there's potential there, but I think he needs to be alongside Alderweireld, and he'll play more games and he'll get more experience and play better. I think him and Anderson, going to what Darius said, I think that'd be too tricky. I don't think you should put those two together just yet, because it could just blow up in our face and it could be worse.
That's why we still probably have Toby for next season, won't it?
Yeah, I'll keep Toby. I think Toby's the experience you need with these players, so he can play alongside them. Maybe you can do a rotation with them. But I'll give him a 6. He's all right. He's got potential. Just don't have him and Sanchez in the team together ever again. Or Dyer. Those 3 can't play together.
don't put Rodon with those 2. Those 2 just can't play ball. That's all you need to know.
Name anyone that can play them 2.
You would drop your levels. When you're around rubbish, you just end up rubbish. It's mad.
It's true. I'm going to come to Callum, give you a little bit of warning. There you go, Callum. So you're up now.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 6 as well. He hasn't played many games. I feel like, obviously it's not his fault, but there was rumours about signing Skriniar, and then we've signed this Championship kid, which is obviously disappointing for Spurs fans. But he has shown promise. I think he'll be good in the future. This season, 6, yeah.
6,
I would have liked to have seen him in. I would have liked to see him in the cup games a little bit more, but yeah,
that's very true. Why he wasn't in that Europa League squad? I still don't know to this day why he wasn't in that squad. We could have probably gone through and beat Zagreb if he was in that team. So yeah, that's a good point.
So what we're saying then, because I think, and I'm going to give my ratings, I think he's got potential. I don't think he's played enough to really give a really good account of what he's like under real severe pressure. Although the games he did play in that Chelsea game, made a mistake. He made a couple of mistakes. And what it was, Jose dug him out for a couple of games, then didn't dig him out. So I think the player, given chance, I don't think he's been given enough chance by anybody else. Obviously, Ryan Mason hasn't given him a chance. But I think I'm going with a 7 on that. I'm going with a personal 7. So what do we think with this score? We've got 7, 6, 7, 6, 6. Where are we putting this one?
6.5 seems perfect to me.
Yeah, 6.5, yeah.
6.5? I have to go to the Hotspur Hustler, because he's got to have this.
I mean, if we're going Toby 6.5, then I think it's only fair to give Rodon the same.
Again, 6.5 on Mr. Rodon. So that's our scores so far on the doors for these 5 defenders. Matt Doherty 4, Sergio Reguilon 5.5, 6.5 for Toby, 3 for Davinson, and 6.5 for Rodon. Let us move on to the next level of defenders. Come on, let's move on. Here we go. I don't know where to start with these ones though, because boy, something's going to be. I'm going to start. Let me start with myself here, because you know what? It's quite easy for me. I'm not even going to really talk too much. I don't want to see this brother play anymore for this team. He's on the same level as Sanchez for me in terms of 3. It's got to be a 3. I'm giving him a 3, and I'm moving on. Sorry. Callum, I'll come to you next then.
I'm going to give him a 3.5 because it looks like that's what he's been smoking all season.
That's it.
I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this guy again. Usually I'm quite respectful about Tottenham players, but I found myself offering him out for a fight on Twitter the other day after a game. Yeah, he's poor, he's slow, he makes mistakes, and then he comes out doing interviews saying he gets scapegoated. You're just terrible, man.
Spread my ashes over the stadium. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so what? So he can haunt us for longer. Yeah, I don't want to see him again.
Because of what he's smoking, he gets a 3.5. I like that. I might have to use that somewhere else, man, because that's good. That's good. That's good. Right. Mike, you're next.
3. I'm not gonna go into any more detail. He's pony. Get him out of my club.
He's pony, man. I agree with that. I don't want to see no more of it. Darius, next.
I agree with all you lot on the 3. The only reason I'm gonna say 4 is because he's played so many minutes. He's kind of listen. He's played so many minutes.
You're smoking that 3.5 now.
He's kind of forced himself to have a few decent games, I believe, just because he's played so many minutes. So I would say 4 just because of that, because he's played 28 games and he's kind of had a couple good games here and there. But if he's not one of the first 3 out of the club, then there's issues next season, because he's bad in centre back, he's bad in centre mid, he's bad in every part of the pitch. You can't do anything. So yeah,
Man's is saying 3 is generous. Amrit says 3 is generous, and I'm thinking my score was generous as well. But you know, Marlon, you're gonna have the final say in terms of the score in this one.
I'm gonna be controversial.
Oh, Marlon, don't do this.
If you say
Don't do it to yourself.
You know, with Dyer, he's not a central defender. But you know, if you play him as a holding midfielder, he can deliver a pass and he can play that. Let's go back to the season when he was good in the middle of the midfield.
I'm gonna have to take your solo. Don't do this to yourself.
He's not a central defender. He's been fooled. He's fooled himself. Mourinho fooled him. Poch didn't really play him there. He's not a central defender. Play him in centre midfield and watch how much better
I think
Callum
just said it himself. He's not even a footballer, Marlon. He's not even a footballer. What are you giving him? What just tell me what you're giving him?
His passing from centre back's been terrible.
No, he's been poor. He has been poor, but he's not a centre back. He is not a centre back.
What was your rating for
Tell
him?
me, give him your rating.
I can't rate him. I don't have a rating for him. I'm just saying.
No, we're not doing this.
He's been poor this season. I would say, in fact, maybe a 3. But play him as a holding midfielder.
So he went after all that. You did all that. You give him a 3.
I guarantee you. I bet you now he's better than Højbjerg in a holding midfielder.
No
way. Højbjerg's been dead. Højbjerg's been dead since. Hold on. Since Mourinho's going, Højbjerg's been dead. Since we've moved up the pitch, has Højbjerg been good? Let's be honest.
I still think he's been all right.
No way. No way.
Let's just come off this so we can all discuss this properly.
No, let's be
Marlon, come on now. Let's not mess about. Let's get some
stats up.
What is your score, please? Tell me that so I can work this average out. What are you saying?
8.
You're saying 8 for Dyer? Are you mad? I'm not writing it down.
You know one of them.
All right, let's go.
Stop here. We're gonna go till you.
We're gonna go 4.
We're waiting till you come seriously with this.
4. But I rate him highly. I rate him more than Højbjerg as a holding midfielder.
Bro, I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Marlon,
I'm being serious. I don't buy into the hype.
What I'm hearing.
His only good moment in a Spurs shirt was when he scored against West Ham on his debut. That's his only good moment.
Look at we played Chelsea away, and he played those balls to Dyer. I meant to Ali. Remember when he played a lot of balls to Ali when Ali was on fire.
That's about 2 passes this whole season, bro. Every time.
No, I'm not talking this season. I'm talking in general.
Only time Dyer's been good for Spurs is when he actually hasn't been playing.
Oh my God!
Listen to the comments, Marlon. Listen to the comments.
Marlon,
you know what I mean? Watch the comment.
He's a holding midfielder.
So I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just reading the. You can read the comments yourself. You can read them yourself.
Yeah, I agree with Joe. I agree with Joe.
Wait, what did Joe say? Nah,
Dyer midfield experiment has already failed.
Rubbish.
Nah. So hold on. When Dyer was in there with Don Belly, was Spurs not good in midfield? Be honest.
Not feeling it.
My day.
Not feeling it, Marlon. I'm sorry.
I've seen Sunseekers turn quicker than Dyer.
Marlon, you must know him personally or something. Because what's this about? Man?
I just know he passes.
He plays for your bridging.
He can pass. He passes. He's a good passer. He can play good football, man. And he's aggressive.
I disagree.
3.5. You know what? I've gone generous. Now, just because you started to do that chat that you did, Marlon, I've had to put this extra 0.5 on there. But I was not willing to do that before, but I've done it for you. I've done it for you.
I said 8.
Oh my God.
No, I was joking with an 8. I was joking with an 8. Game an 8. He's been bad this season, but he's played out of position.
No.
Okay, move on. Serge Aurier. Let me start with Serge Aurier. Serge, I think what he did when is it the Liverpool game where he just ducked out? Ducked out. I said, man's is gone. So for that reason, I can't be dealing with him. He makes too many errors, the same errors all the time, makes the same errors in the same positions, gives away things, but he's probably been our best right back, which is a real problem. So 5. I'll give him a 5.
I think that's harsh.
A 5 when you're
Callum,
giving.
I agree. I actually agree. You know what? I actually agree.
You're giving Reguilon a 5.5, and you're only giving Serge a 5.
Don't sleep on Serge.
What? Hold on, Callum. Hold on.
Yeah.
What? Listen, you on. You're next then. Go on then, talk.
Sam, you're not going to like this one, yeah, because I'm going to come
I'm not going to like about what you've already said.
I'm giving him a 6.75. because for me, his first half of the season, incredible. Games against Man City, against Man United, impeccable. Even the other day when it was Ramadan, he was fasting, man got 2 assists, incredible. He's not had a great end to the season other than that game that I just mentioned. But for me, overall, I think he's been decent. I'm not really his biggest fan, but this season, he's been one of our best defenders. I can't lie. 6.75. I have to give it to him. Damn. Obviously, he does switch off and he makes mistakes, but this season for me, he's been all right.
Yeah. Some of these, this is why I like these type of shows, because you come up with some worldies, you lot. Marlon's come out with a worldie, and now Callum's come out with a worldie. 6.75. Anyway, that's the opinions. I'm gonna go with the next person up. So let's go with let me go with Mike this one. Let me go with Mike on this one. What's your thoughts, Mike?
I gave him a 7. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yo, Mike.
Yes, Mike.
Purely on the basis that, as Callum said, the first half of the season, he is a different player. Defensively, he was solid, and the amount of assists that he's created, and he hasn't scored the odd goals as well. Mm-hmm. So I think if you're giving Reguilon a 5.5, Serge hasn't been that bad. I don't want him at the club anymore. Just from that Liverpool game where he had to duck out at half time, which we'll probably never find out why. Don't get me wrong, that does boil my piss a bit. But I in terms of performance, I know he's vulnerable and he leaves space at the back and stuff, but I wouldn't say he's been. I wouldn't say he's been bad. I think he's been. If you compare him from this season to last season, I think he's improved massively. 100%. Even though I say we should get a new right back in, just because of I think he's a bad egg. But I've given him a 7 because I just think he's been on the whole, he's been all right. He's been pretty decent, to be fair to him.
Okay. So far we've got a 5 from me, we've got a 7 from Mike, 6.75 from Callum. Them two are smoking Budge. And Darius.
Yeah, I'm gonna join them on the Budge smoking then, because I think Aurier's been good as well. You know, I can't lie to you. Aurier's been we have to think about it, bro. He's been the best right back. He's been the best right back for us, and we can't lie. If he wasn't playing, and you know what surprised me about those stats here? 729 minutes. That is not that much at all. I thought he played way more. And you know what? I think that the minutes that he played. Obviously, we all know what Aurier is like. If he's 20, is he 29 now? If he's 29 years old and he's not going to change those sort of mistakes, I'm not expecting the guy to change that. So I'm not. Obviously, I'm going to criticize him for doing it, but I'm not going to get onto him. I'm giving him a 6. I'm giving him a 6 because I do believe that he has had his best defensive season this season, and he has come up with the assists. And as I think we have to get rid of him because he's in his final year. But if he was here for another 2 years. And we brought another right back in, I wouldn't mind him as our backup right back.
I'd extend the contract, have him as second choice right back.
As a backup right back, I wouldn't mind it.
As a backup right back,
I wouldn't mind it.
You don't get any better as a backup right back, I'll be honest.
Better than Doherty, that's all I'll say.
I just think he's a bad egg.
We don't need stressing out as well. They're stressing my head as well. They really are.
Marlon, what's the rating? No,
I'm coming to Marlon now. You lot are mad, man. You lot are
Serge, I've watched Serge from when he was at PSG. He was a calamity then. He came to Spurs. He's just been a calamity. Yes, he picked up this season, but he's still poor. He needs to leave. He shouldn't have come in the first place. He's staying on a 3. if we're rating him as 6, our ratings have dropped. Have you noticed all our ratings? All of our ratings for our defenders are so low. Oh, this is a disgrace, man. Nah, he needs to go, man. He needs to go. I have no time for these guys. He's erratic. Man.
You got time for Dyer in DM, but you not got time for Orient.
Yeah, come on,
goes right back. Come on, Marlon.
But Dyer, with Dyer, my argument is he's not a defender. He's a holding midfielder.
But he says he is. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
he's one.
He's moving crazy. He's crazy. Come on.
He's a waste man. He's a waste man. He don't even know his best position. So how can you trust him?
He's grown up a red gardening Spurs.
Nah, Callum's right. He knows him. No, Callum, you're right. He knows him. 100% he knows him.
I don't know what to do. At this moment in time, I'm as I said, I'll read out the scores. I gave him a 5. Darius gave him a 6. Mike gave him a 7. What's going on? The scores are going up. Marlon, back to reality. Gave him a 3. Callum then takes it back up, 6.75. Where are we going with this player now? We have to decide.
Let's go 6.
No lower than.
Has to be 6.
Maybe 6.5.
6.5. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that.
It's got to be something.
Because I'm comparing him to Reggie, and he hasn't been that bad.
And you know what? Yeah, let's give it for Mike, because Mike has had to put up with a Reggie on rating. So yeah, let's give it 6.5. You have to put it on there now, Sub.
Whatever happens, I've succeeded tonight.
I have to go with what the people say. That's what I'm saying, but I don't want to. But I have to go what the people say. So, God damn, man, it don't look right. It don't feel right. I feel uncomfortable, man. I feel uncomfortable with that one. Anyway, we're moving on. Yafat Tanganga. Not played many minutes. 6 appearances. 488 minutes. Who wants to start with this one? I'll ask. Who wants to start?
I'll go really quickly. I'm gonna say 5. I like his hunger. I like the fact that he's Tottenham through and through. I think that just having that in the team and around the team is important. I think that he'd be good as a centre-back, not as a right-back. I don't think he's a right-back. I think as a third centre-back and a 3 at the back, he can excel quite well there. So I'm going to give him a 5. The only thing is, those injuries are starting to concern me a little bit now. I think he's had a lot of injuries for such a young guy, and it's different injuries as well. It's starting to concern me. I think he's out for 2 months now with this ankle injury. So that's the only concern for me. I gave him a 5.
Darius is giving him 5. Okay. Mike.
Give Reggie a 5.5. You're kidding me this. I gave Tanganga a 6 because based on his performances, I think he might have only had a difficult run out against West Ham when we lost 2-1, I think it was. But I think I've been impressed when he's been playing. And I'm going on the basis of just performance, so I gave him a 6.
Interesting. Callum?
I'm gonna give him a 6 as well. I'm a big fan of Tanganga. I'm disappointed at the lack of minutes he's got this season. I think he requested a loan move. I think Southampton and West Brom were interested. I'm disappointed we declined it because he needs minutes. Like Darius said, I think so many injuries at such a young age is concerning, but he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's Tottenham through and through, and I think he's a fantastic defender with a bright future ahead. I really like him.
Good overview there. Like that, Marlon.
I think the jury's still out for him. I think he's done all right, but I think it's the injuries as well. He ain't a right back though, so I think we need to see him at centre back a bit. Maybe a low move. I think he needs to go on a low move because I don't want to dash him in the deep end at Spurs because we're a bit of a madness at the moment. And then he's just going to end up poor, and then the fans are going to get on his back. So I think he needs to do like what Skip's done. Just go out on loan and come back.
Be perfect for him. That'd be absolutely
What's your score?
I'll give him a 5.
5. Interesting. I'm liking some of the comments that you guys have made about him. I agree that I don't think his best position is going to be right back, and we haven't seen enough of him at centre back. I think he's played all right back. Don't get me wrong, but I just think he's been quite safe. I've not seen enough in an attacking sense to kind of say he's 100%. The right back that we'd need, and that's what I want to see. If he's going to play right back, I want to see him attack more. But because he plays centre back, he knows how to fill in. So when we go to a back 3, he can kind of fill in there. Jury's still out of me in terms of his long-term prospects. Having only played 488 minutes, can't make any judgments. So I'm gonna give him a 5.5. I'm gonna give him a 5.5. That means now we have to decide on what score.
You know what?
I'm going to go in the background.
5.5. What were the scores? Go through the scores again.
So me 5.5, Darius 5, Mike is 6, Marlon 5, and Callum 6.
I can settle for a 5.5 down to the lack of game time.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Oh, where's my bloody mask gone? Let's get lost. Sorry. Oh, here we go. So, sorry, lads. Just a little bit of technical hitch at the moment. Let me come back to you on this one. Right, here we go. Sorry, and come off that one. Escape. Go back in and here. So what we saying for him? We said 5.5.
5.5.
Did we agree on in the end?
Good. Yeah, sounds good.
5.5. Okay, give him 5.5. I think that's probably about right. I don't think anything more than that. I don't think anything less than that because, as I said, I don't think he's been given enough time and opportunity to say. So, okay, Ben Davies, last one on this.
How many minutes has he got?
1,340 minutes. He's made 20 appearances. He's come on as a sub 6 times, however. So he has, he's 14 starts, that is. And he's been injured quite a bit of this last bit of the season. So, Darius, we'll start with you. Ben Davies.
4. I don't think he's a good left back at all, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's a pretty bad left back. When we did our show about keeping or selling, I said to keep him because, again, I think that he'd be a good left centre back in a 3. And when I look at teams who need to, do well in seasons when we're in multiple cups, you do need to have a few players. And he's, again, injury prone-esque. I would say he gets injured quite often. So just having him there as a potential option for a 3 at the back and a left centre back is why I would keep him. But it doesn't disregard the fact that he's not that good of a left back at all, and he's not really had that good of a season. So I'm going to go 4.
Oh, look at this. Look who's decided. Right, we're going to add him in. We're going to add him in because he's decided. He's now popping in here. Let's take this off. Let's welcome him. Let's welcome him to the show. Put you on big screen because you're late. Thanos, welcome, Thanos.
Yeah.
Since you're here,
you might need to turn your thing down. Warrior is 6. I said
you might need to turn your thing down.
6.5, bro.
You said you wanted to be higher. You said you wanted to be higher.
We can hear you in the background. Nigel, we can hear ourselves in the background, so you might need to just adjust whatever.
I've got you on. My bad.
Yeah, that's right. That's why. That's better. Right, so you can come in straight away. Davis, what's your thoughts?
Davis, he hasn't had a lot to do that wasn't Europa League, but I mean, he's been crucified every time we've seen him on the pitch by whoever his matchup was. So I can't give him much more than a 4. It's hard, but I can't give him more than a 4.
That's what Darius is giving him, 4. So, right, we've got 4 from there. Okay, so far so good then. Welcome anyway. We'll come to Callum next. Ben Davies, talk to me.
Ben Average Davies, I'll give him a 4.5. I think you know what you're getting with Ben Davies. I agree with Darius. I think his best position is left-sided centre back in a 3. That's why it's a whole nother conversation. But if Conte comes in, I'd like to see him stay. But yeah, average season, average player. I think people like to say he's good defensively just because he's so bad going forwards that they think it makes him better defensively. But he's very average, very average. He's not really a player that should be at a top side, mid-table player. Yeah.
Bang average, in my opinion. Bang average. So what are you giving him? You're giving him what, 4.5?
4.5, yeah.
Okay, 4.5 is fine. I'll go next. You know what? It's because Nigel's just falling off the screen. I'm just going to take that last banner off. There you go. So you can be seen more clearly. That's all right. No problems with that. Bang average, Ben Davis. That's what his name is. Bang average, Ben. 3. Sorry.
Oh,
it's a bit harsh. I know it's a bit harsh. It is harsh. 3.5. Hold on. 3.5. I'll go.
He's been alright. He's been alright.
Good enough. I don't think he's good enough personally. That's my thoughts.
It's based on how he's performed this season. He hasn't
20 appearances, 6 as sub, 1,340 minutes. That's what I'm basing it on. And the games I've seen him play, he's bang average.
So then we've got to lower the rating for Donkey Dyer and Sanchez.
We do need to lower those ratings, by the way. I wasn't there, but you lot, the Orient Dyer ratings, yeah. Oh, they were burning me.
All right, go on then. You're next then. Go on.
Me. I was going to give Davis a 5, just on the basis that, like everyone said, he's just had an average season. He hasn't been good, but I wouldn't say he's been a Dyer or Sanchez sort of appallingly bad. So if we give in Reguilon, who has had a decent start to the season and a bad start to the second half, I don't think Davis has been appalling as such. I just think he's just been average. So I've given him a 5 just on that basis. Whether we keep him or not next season, and that's another matter. I mean, he's not good enough probably for our aspirations as a club. So if we had the opportunity, I'd cash in on him, because obviously we've got Session, we've got Reguilon and stuff, who in my eyes have got more potential. But based on how he's performed this season, I'm giving him a 5.
Okay. Marlon, come to you for the last one.
I don't think he's been that bad. I think he's all right. He's a squad player. He's just Davis. So I'll give him about a 5 as well.
Bang average Ben, mate.
Yeah, I would keep him as well. You know what scares me? It's not just this podcast. I think everyone wants to change the whole Spurs team, and they don't understand the effect that will have. If you change the whole team, we are definitely going to struggle next year, because not everyone knows how everyone plays. So you only can change a few players. So I think your Davies and your Dyers, Aurier can go. Sanchez can
But you'll keep Dyer.
Bale.
You know what you said. Aurier can go, but you'll keep Dyer.
I'll keep that 100%.
I'm telling you, that's your
100%.
That's definitely your brethren.
Boy,
That's his
boy.
He must be. He must be your boy, Marlon. He must be your boy.
Wait, no, man.
No,
You lot need.
There's something man's not telling us. There's something
You
he's
lot
not
don't
telling us.
respect.
man.
You lot don't respect.
No,
He's a
come
decent
on.
footballer. You need to respect.
Let's forget about this, brother. Let's just give this Ben Davis a score. I'm going to read out what your scores are. So I gave him 3.5.
I haven't given him a score yet.
Oh, I thought you gave him 4. No, sorry, you give him 5. You didn't give him 5.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I did.
Yeah,
I take it back. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, you do.
I take it back. Sorry.
I told you, it's that team. It's that team, man. It's a lot of it. 3.5 from me, 4 from Darius, 5 from Mike, 5 from Marlon, 4.5 from Callum, 4 from Nigel. So, what are we giving this brother? Come on now. Let's
4.5, I think.
You know the thing is,
let's be serious. Come on now.
I remember times where Davis played, and we were all screaming, "Oh my god! Like, how is this happening?"
Not like Aurier though, and Sanchez.
No, but Aurier, the difference is they've been given the opportunity to be persistent. But because Davis is so like bang average, we're kind of letting it slide. But there was games where Davis was getting creamed and was like, "This guy can't keep playing."
Yeah.
4.5 sounds right to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But then he was playing games like 2 or 3. Well, he's playing 3 games a week, wasn't he, for quite a consistent amount of time? So against Man City and stuff,
he was getting caught.
But he was paid 2 games before that game.
He said he can't play.
Yeah, but he played 3 games a week, so you got to cut him some sort of slack, because he's playing 90, and he's getting 90 minutes.
I wouldn't be happy
You
about
can't be a
that.
Spurs fan.
He's an Arsenal fan. He's an Arsenal fan, Callum.
There we go.
He's an Arsenal fan.
There we go.
Marlon, you're not doing us no favors here, man. You're getting these mans agreeing. I'm not having that. Nah, come on. We've given
not Sanchez. I said that. Sanchez. Sanchez can go, man.
Here we go. That's the scores on the doors. So for these defenders, 3.5 for Dyer, 6.5 for Serge, Yafet Tanganga, 5.5, 4.5 for Ben.
Can I ask a question? How many goals have we let in this year?
That's a good question. I haven't got that stat on me. Is
our stats are very low. I just want to see how many goals we've let in.
Somebody got that stat. Well, what you're trying to say is because of Ben Davis? Is that what you're going to try
and say? No, I'm just saying.
Or
our
Dyer?
stats are low for the players.
Dyer.
No, our stats are low.
No, come on.
Our stats are low, so I want to see how bad our defenders really are, and if we're being harsh.
I don't think the thing we've lost by the odd goal. We haven't really lost. We haven't been
45 goals conceded. 45 goals conceded in the Premier League this season.
And what's that against on average? Like, how's that fair to the other teams?
I will find out for you in a second, but it shouldn't be that bad, surely.
Okay, so what I think we're going to do, because we've got quite a few players left, I think we'll do these next 4 midfielders. And if you guys are happy, we'll do another show at some point.
Agree,
we'll have to do it, because otherwise we'll be here for a long time. And because you lot are giving some some freakish scores out here. I can't deal with it. I have
We
to
need
go
to
and
sleep.
lie
Do we need to
down.
sleep on it, guys?
I need to lie
sleep on
down.
it.
Come back.
I need to lie down.
Yeah, you know what them. Point to that one. Point to that
What's
one
it this
down
way,
there.
innit?
He's on his own. He's on his own.
So serious,
Oh, wow.
serious, funny. Okay, so we're gonna go through these last 4 players here. We got Højbjerg, we got Winks,
Oh,
we got
we could be here for an
worse.
hour,
It gets
guys. We
worse.
could be here for an hour.
Give
Nah,
me
it
a
should be
break.
short and
Give me.
sweet.
Let me have the first one.
we'll do these,
Højbjerg.
we'll do these 4, and then we'll wrap up the show for today. But boy, it's gonna be fun. Let's start with Pierre then, and let's start with Marlon. He wants to go first on this one. Pierre Højbjerg.
Marlon, before you say anything, I'm listening very, very, very carefully now. Very carefully.
He started off good, and obviously because Mourinho's tactics and formation suited his play. But you see, since Mourinho's gone, and when we've been on the attacking, like when we're attacking a lot more, he doesn't seem to be offering as much as I expect. He's all right, but I think I expect better. But I don't know. I'll give him maybe a 7. I think he's tailed off the last 10, let's say 12 to 10 games. I don't think he's been that great.
I think that might be down to due to tiredness. If you look at those, he's played every single game, every single minute of every single game. So for that reason, I'm going to give him a little bit of a leeway on that one. But you said what, 7, Marlon? Did you say 7?
Yeah, 7. Let's give him a 7.
Okay. Apart from the obvious, apart from Harry Kane, I think he's been probably our best player. The fact that he's played every single game, every single minute of every single game in the Premier League, I just think where would have been without him? The game, I know it's not the Premier League, but the game in Zagreb where we needed him, he wasn't playing in that game, and we missed out. So for that reason, I'm thinking 7.5. I'm gonna go a little bit higher than Marlon. I'm gonna put 7.5 for Højbjerg. I think he's been really the player that we've required. He's been brought in and he's done a job. So yeah, 7.5 for me. Darius,
You might have given him nowhere near the respect he deserves.
Exactly,
He's played
I was gonna
every
say that.
single minute of every single
Yeah.
game. Take him out of
100%.
every single minute of every single game,
100% on this.
and we would be 15th, 16th place. 8.5 minimum for me, bro. He's been
wowzers.
come in first season
Wowzers.
and just
No
basically
way.
been an
Yeah.
integral leader of the squad. Everyone loves him in the team. He's done
Yeah.
so much for this team. 8.5 minimum for me. He's been important. If we didn't have him in that midfield and you've got a Ndombele, Lo Celso, Winks, we'd be finished. We'd be absolutely finished.
Yeah.
Højbjerg 8.5 minimum for me. I'd even go 9, but I'm not going to get that because he did
Nine?
tail off.
Oh
He
my
did
God.
tail off a little bit. No, he tailed off a little bit. So that's why I'm saying 8.5. But also, what I will say is he needs help. He needs somebody else who's more defensively solid next to him, and he'd be a lot more solid in the middle. Did you just say that? Okay. Just checking. And then also, I do believe as a box-to-box midfielder, if you saw that goal that he scored, what was that goal he scored? Who was it against?
Man City.
Liverpool.
Is it Liverpool? Yeah.
Sorry.
come on, Darius.
He
Give
was
the
a
man the
box-to-box.
score, man.
8.5, man.
You've given
8.5.
the
8.5.
praises, man. 8.5 because I think he's good, but anyway, this is opinions. Again, I'm gonna say it's all opinions. Let's not get too irate, but I'm gonna have to lie down after this team. Mike,
I agree with Darius's thoughts on this. I mean, the guy's played 52 games this season, and okay, 38 of them come in the Premier League. I think 8 or 8.5. I think he's for his first season. He's come in and he's hit the ground running, and he is an integral part of this team. I'd put him in as he's as important as your Sons, your Kanes, easily. So I'll go with what Darius said, 8.5. I'll go with what Darius said, 8.5. Keep it short, sweet.
Hustler speaks. We all listen.
Spanos.
Yes, the thing I see what you mean. Like he has been integral, and the thing is, we give him a lot of ratings as a leader and this kind of guy. What I do wish is when the team started tailing off, he was one of the personalities that would kind of rise above that. But obviously, he has played a lot of games.
He's played 52 games.
Yeah, he played a lot of
It's
games.
mental.
But I mean, our drop off was in line with his drop off. So I mean, that just says a lot. So I will give him an 8. But also, when we changed our style of play, how much less effective did he become, though?
Thank you. Less effective.
I agree.
So what you're saying that when Dyer was in there, it was more effective? Is that what you're trying to say, Marlon? I'm not
doing this.
We talking about this season. We talking this season or before.
No, I'm not
It's the
even
fact that
going back
Marlon's
onto-
actually ready to argue that
No,
point, you know.
we're not going back onto that.
Marlon,
at
I
all.
think going back.
We are done with that conversation. But Callum, you have yours say.
I'm gonna give him a 7.5. I think he's been a solid signing. Definitely tailed off towards the end of the season, but it might be down to how much minutes he's played. I saw a stat the other day saying that he's been dribbled past the most out of anyone in the Premier League. Again, with context, that might be down to how many minutes he's played and the fact that he's not next to another DM. But at the same time, I do feel like he gets too tight to opposition players and they can get past him quite easily. But overall, yeah, I like him. He's been a good signing. I like his passion. He's definitely a good addition to the squad. 7.5 there.
7.5. So I'll just read out the scores we got. So me, 7.5. Darius, 8.5. Mike, 8.5. Marlon, 7. Callum, 7.5. And Nigel, 8. So how are we going to do this one, lads?
It's got to be 8,
Because-
surely.
Huh? Okay.
You're saying 8?
I'm not going to argue that. If it's 8, if we're agreed on 8, I don't mind putting an 8 in for him.
I
Is
think
8 an agreeable figure?
We think
for everybody to
we
do.
think like Højbjerg is like the leader that we give him credit for, because Kane is the only one we saw when things got worse. He kind of rose to the moment.
But Kane leads by his performances, do you not think, as opposed to on the pitch? I think Højbjerg is much more of a leader in that sense.
But did we feel like we had that leader in that moment?
I don't feel like we have any out-and-out leaders, if I'm being honest.
I agree. Lloris is a captain, and I don't really feel like a captain.
Lloris is silent. Lloris is silent.
Mm.
For a captain, he doesn't show me enough. He's not vocal enough.
I think Højbjerg's got the material to be a captain, leader.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Right, let's go to see what we've got on the doors in terms of the scores. So we give them an 8. Just a little bit.
These next three, mate, they don't deserve
score them all
much.
together.
They don't deserve ratings.
There's 2 of them that don't need to change that thing above their heads. There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Clearly, I don't think.
Yeah, for real.
All
For
of
real.
them.
Eric Lamela, I'm kind of a little bit. I'll give him a few points, but the other 2, they can stay on 0 as far as I'm concerned. But this is not my show, so you know what I mean. We'll have to talk about it. Let's talk about Harry Stinks, Harry Winks, Harry, whatever you want to call him. Number 8. Who wants up? Darius, I'll come to you first on this one. Harry Stinks.
I just want to crown Harry Stinks, Harry Winks as part of the number gang. So he's now number 8. We'll not be calling him Harry Winks anymore. Howie's got the number 8 shirt again, disgracing that number 8 shirt. No, he gets a 2. First of all, he gets a 2. No, he gets a 1 because he's a dead baller. He gets a 1. I'm sorry. Deadest player, along with the other one who we'll rate later. Deadest players on the pitch. I genuinely makes me angry. You know, you watch things and it like you feel that burning anger just coming up inside you. Like you said, Callum, you kind of want to just offer them out for a fight. You want to just do something to them. It's not on you, bro. Like, leave the club, and I won't feel that way, bro. You can do your thing at another club. One. I'm just gonna mute my mic now. I'm gonna mute my mic.
1 on it. Darius has gone ham. He's gone ham. 1. Thanos, I'll come to you next then.
I mean, I'm going to have to hide my face after this, but I think he's a victim of crimes committed by one Mr. Jose Mourinho.
What?
Because we saw Harry Winks under Poch play an amazing game against Barcelona. We've seen some incredible performances from him for years.
Mourinho steady, Nigel. Steady on.
Listen. Say what you want, but Winks, did you always hate Winks?
Yes.
When Poch was there, you lot hated Wings.
Yes.
I didn't mind him.
Wow. I thought he was England international. He was a decent player. Like no one was calling him
England international.
Yeah, he was a regular player playing every week. Mourinho came and this
Mr. K says, can you give a negative for Winks? You're bigging this brother up now, Nigel. So that's
the thing. Like I know he was dead, but I think he's a victim. We should have our arms up.
We're victims of watching, man.
We'll give him a good send-off.
Victims of Jose Mourinho, but he's one of us.
I hear you, Nigel.
He wasn't that bad. Like, we weren't calling for Winks' head like this until Mourinho came, and now he's unplayable.
That I do agree with, but I just part of me thinks like, why is Pep asking for 40? Like Pep wanted him at one point, but he's just
homegrown.
To be fair, if we're giving Sanchez, if we're giving him whatever it is, 3.5 or 3, where I can't remember the score, but if we're giving him 3, Nigel has got he has a fair point in regards to what we're going to score with.
Nigel ain't giving me a score yet. What's his score, Nigel?
I have to with a heavy heart, Winks. I have to give you a 4, bro. But it's not your fault,
bro.
You can't talk up the man like that. If you'd have given him anything more than that, I was switching off. I'm switching off.
No, because I'm hearing about negative scores, so I think I may have given him too many by about 10.
Yeah. Okay then, Mike. What's your sports?
Yeah, I'm going to just go with I'll go with the score that Nigel has given him. I'll give him a 4. He hasn't been great this season. He probably has suffered from the Mourinho effect. Yeah, I'll give him a 4. But he hasn't. And the reason I'll give him a 4 is that tackle against Leicester.
Wasn't it his mistake?
I can't. Didn't he get booked? Was it the one he got booked? Was it where he got booked?
I enjoyed the tackle though. I did enjoy it.
He did
He took one for the team. And for that, I'm giving him credit.
Even trying to take one for the team, the way he tried to do it was just so
No, that
rubbish.
was a brilliant tackle. No.
I laughed.
I rate him for that tackle.
No way. That was exactly. That
he gave the ball away though. So how can
he made up for it? He made up.
Yeah, he made up.
They
would have went up there and scored.
If he wasn't on the pitch, it never would have happened.
Nah, man, he played good that game. Give him his ratings. He played good that game.
No, I'm not giving him no ratings.
Nah, man, he played good that game.
I'm gonna give him a 2. I'm gonna give him a 2. One for that tackle against Leicester. Even though it was his fault, it made me laugh the way he went about it. And the other one for getting Zinchenko sent off against City. Other than that, terrible footballer. Championship standard footballer.
Nah,
he went to Brighton.
We can't be giving him a less score than
yeah, what is the lowest score?
I most certainly can.
Number 17.
What did he get? 2.
3.
I'm giving him a 2.
So you're giving him a 2.
Aurier is a borderline 7.
Yes.
So what?
Huh? Aurier, you guys gave Aurier 6.5.
He's lucky he got that. He's lucky he's in
What are you trying to say, Nigel? I don't know what you're trying to say.
We're here slaughtering Winks trying to give him these scores, but Aurier hasn't been much better than Winks.
Bro, Aurier died and he turned up the next game. I have to give him ratings for that.
Aurier goes down the right wing and gives away same foul that costs us game after game.
After year.
And then did it in the cup final. We gave him 6.5, and here we are talking about Winks like this.
But Doherty was terrible. Tanganga played right back for a couple games. And I believe if you actually look at the start of the season, defensively, Aurier was very solid. And he got worse.
How many games?
Man City played well. Started the season. United, he played well.
United had 10 men. Come on.
Doesn't matter.
I think Aurier is, like I said, I think Aurier is the same way you think Winks was disrespected. I do think Aurier is disrespected, but either way, none of them are good enough. None of them are good enough. We all need to realize that. We're saying that we rate it, but none of them are good enough, in my opinion.
Whoever bought Aurier hustled us. We got hustled.
Marlon.
Weeks. Yeah. I'll give him the Sanchez score, maybe a 3. I think he's all right, you know. You're saying.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Now you know what it is. He needs confidence. He needs a confident manager around him. He's all right. He's got something about him. I wouldn't start him. He's a squad player.
We need to dominate possession to see Winks play well. He needs to just be ticking the ball around, passing it left and right. That's what Winks is. He's a metronome. He can't shoot. He could barely play a long pass. He can just play a good pass along the floor, keep the ball ticking.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just don't think he's good enough. I just believe that he's a player that can get away. If he was in like a City team, I can see why Pep wanted him. He fills a quota for an English player, but he just gives the ball to somebody else to do whatever he needs to do. So all he'll do is get the ball and give it to the better player. Give it to De Bruyne. Get the ball. I'll give it to somebody else because he can't develop. In my opinion, I don't think he develops play. I don't even think he controls games. I just see him just give some side.
That's what he needs.
You know what I mean? And for that reason, it's not enough. What is he as a midfielder? If you got the number 8 on your back, you're box to box, in my opinion. you can't lace Gerrard's boots in terms of that as a number 8. So I just can't give him anything more than a 2. It's a 2 for me.
He's the
How
kind
can
of
we
player
give him a
who's
2
going to
and yet
brighten
you're giving Sanchez a 3? We're giving Reggie a 5.5. We're giving Serge a 6.5.
You want to stop about Reggie?
He's not having it about Reggie, is he?
The regular agenda.
No,
The regular agenda. I'm loving
No,
it.
but we can't be giving him a 2 and yet you're giving number 17 a 3.5.
Well, we're going to agree on the score. We're going
Winks is
to
a
agree
war
on
criminal.
the score. Let's agree on the
Yeah,
score.
yeah.
So I'll just read out what we've got. I give him a 2. Darius is giving him a 1. You, Mike,
I gave him a 4, didn't I?
you gave him a 4. Marlon's giving him 3. Callum's 2, and Nigel's giving him 4 as well. So again, what are we coming up with? Come on, lads. Let's be serious though.
2.5 or 3. 2.5
higher
or 3,
than
and you can have that. I'll
He
give you
can't
that.
be. We can't be saying he's getting a worse rating than number 17. Not number
Winks
17.
is a criminal, bro. He's a
Criminal.
criminal.
What's Sanchez then?
He
If
is
he's
a
a,
criminal.
if he's a criminal, what is Sanchez?
Agenda or not,
Got it
bro.
out.
Agenda or not. I'm one of these people where a player has to have some sort of role in the team. Winks doesn't do anything apart from tick the ball along, and we weren't dominating possession. So I don't know how in any performances he was good, because his best asset we weren't playing towards. He was just there, like another person we'll get onto. He was just there. He was
making
boys
up
with
numbers.
Mason,
He's
and that's
making
why he
up
got
numbers.
played. He was just there. He was just there.
Was he as bad as Sanchez?
No, not a chance.
I
So
genuinely
how
believe
could
he
be worse
was,
than
because
Sanchez?
I genuinely believe he was worse than Sanchez. I genuinely believe he was worse than
Because he
Sanchez.
doesn't do
Okay.
anything.
Let me just
He doesn't
go
do
back.
exactly. He don't do
Let's-
nothing.
Let's
Nothing.
just go back to have a look at what he's is it this slide? Yeah. So 15 appearances. This is the league. He started 9 games. But
9
he was
games.
brought off 5 times.
Let's not
And then he
forget-
got brought on 6 times. So the
Let's
guy's not
not
even
So
starting.
he only
Let's not
started
forget
9. What I'm saying, he only started 9 games, and then he got subbed for 5 of the 9 games he started.
And he come on against West Ham and lost us 2 points. Let's not
And
forget.
he lost
Let's
us.
not forget.
Aurier
I
lost his 2
cannot
points
give
too.
that brother any more than 2 in my
Donut,
opinion.
fam.
But what
Nah,
we're saying?
who gave
What's the
away the
He's
average?
an idiot.
started
He's
out.
an idiot.
What is it? 3, 4?
3.
If
He's
it goes
gonna
to
say
4, I'm-
Free.
We can't be
Yeah, that's
rating him on
different.
the same length as Sanchez. Sanchez must be in the minus. I don't care that. So should Dyer. They should both be in the minuses because
Yeah, I can't complain about that.
I'm like I said, I'm not arguing those two, but Winks is on that level for
we've
me.
got to change it because Dyer and Sanchez they deserve a 0. If we're giving Winks a 3, flip it, and Uncle Sissoko 0s. We can't even be rating them. They get 0.
I can't wait to get onto him. I can't wait. Let's just skip this one, guys, so we can get onto
So
him.
just for those out there, we're doing a couple more of these players, and we're going to do a part 2 to this show because we have got obviously more midfielders to go through and the forwards as well. But as you can see, it's a bit of a debate here going on. So we need to do a part 2 anyway. Right then, Marlon, let's come to you first on Eric Lamela.
We go back to the thing. Let's see how many games he's started.
Sure, no problem.
Sorry, 23. You see the things with Lamela. He gives his heart and he tries, but he's always going to give away a free kick as well. I think his time's up at Spurs personally, but just for the Rabona, he's getting a 9. And it's in North London Derby, a 9.
But we still lost though. We still lost. Let's not forget.
He's got a 9 just for
And he
trying.
got a red.
And he's been there. Has he been with us over 10 years or something? How long has he been there?
8
Too long.
years, I think it is.
Too
8
long.
years.
8 years
Right,
too long.
He's getting
Did he
it's
get
a
sent off?
7.
When did he get sent off?
Same game.
Arsenal game.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
7,
Typical Lamela performance.
but because the Rabona 9.
Okay, let me just. I think this should put this into perspective, and I hope this is right. And please speak up if it's not. So he's appeared 23 times,
Yeah.
but he's come on 18 times as a sub. That means he started 5 games, but in them 5 games, he's always been subbed off. He's not a player that's going to be a 90-minute player for us.
No,
His
no.
time's done.
The impact
His
there.
injuries have curtailed him. He's done. 5 times if you started, you get brought off 5 times. You know, I know he done the Rabona, and he's busy. He's got energy, but we need better now. Thank you, Lamela, for the memories. Thank you for that Rabona. It was a great goal, but no, man, your time for me. Anyway, sorry, going back. What was your score? What was your score for him?
Me, I said 9.
Bro,
No,
you
it's
feel-
So
serious. Are you serious?
No, he's being serious. I think he's
The
being serious.
Rabona. It was 7, but the Rabona made it 9. Yeah,
It
was 7 before the Rabona.
We're not including this in the averages when we go through all the numbers.
Criminal, criminal.
Part 2 is gonna have to be the link's gonna have to be sent in a separate chat where he's not in it.
Seriously, we're gonna have to seriously, because this is
This is last season, man. That's his last goal.
Murdering this show, not sorry.
Sam, can I take the next one? Sorry, can I take the next rating?
Go ahead.
I'll let you know this, Marlon. Bale scored more goals returning to Tottenham than Lamela did his entire career at Tottenham.
Oh,
so I'm gonna give him a 3. No, I'll give him a 4. I'll give him a 4 for the Rabona goal. I'll give him a 4 for the Rabona goal. But yeah, he's not getting higher than that bad.
He's not played that bad this season.
No, he's played well, you know. He's actually played well.
If I'm going to criticize Winks for not doing much, Lamela runs around and makes
he does more.
And I understand. I have to be unbiased, and he does. When he comes off the bench, he does kind of change the energy of the players, but he just doesn't do much. He just doesn't do much. His decision making in the final third is atrocious. It's never been good. The guy, again, I'll give you another reason why I'm not rating him above a 4. The guy was doing Rabonas in the Arsenal. Was it not the Arsenal game? What was he doing? What game was he doing Rabonas in the 90th minute? Yeah, Leeds game. What's he doing?
And it went out of play.
Going out for a throw, bro.
Went out for a throw.
Nah, I'm sorry.
And when we're losing the game, a man's doing a Rabona and it goes out. Come on, man.
4 max. He gets 4 for the Rabona goal.
Yeah. Remember, he made us beat United as well, you know.
Yeah, but still dead.
Callum.
I'm gonna give him a 4 for getting Martial sent off and for the Rabona. I don't rate him as a player. The only time he uses his right foot is when he's driving, and he won't be doing that for much longer. I heard he got a ban.
6 months.
Yeah, the fact that he's been at the club for 9 odd years is just a testament to how much we accept mediocrity. Poor player. Even the Rabona, the only reason man done that is because he can't shoot with his right foot. Yeah, I mean, if I see him here next season, I'm gonna struggle to turn on the TV when we're playing.
Lord.
And yeah, I feel like fans just rate him because he shows heart and he shows passion. But if I was getting paid 50 odd grand a week, I'd show more than passion. So I don't even want to hear that. Yeah, he loses his head. I don't have much positives to say about him, to be honest, man.
So yeah, you're giving him a 4 on that one. So our scores have been skewed at the moment with Marlon's score. But anyway, we'll come to Nigel next. What's your thoughts, Nigel?
Yeah, man, you lot are harsh. You lot are harsh.
Yeah.
Like,
bro, we've had a terrible season, bro.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like we're in that mode where but he hasn't been that bad. I mean, he scored that goal against Chelsea to take us through. Obviously, I mean, I'm not going to give him a lot of credit for that Rabona, but there's been times where Lamela's come on and we've been like, you know what, like he's actually been he's
provided us the energy and
yeah, exactly. We've been a very lethargic team, and there's times where you put Lamela on and you said, all right, I'd like, you know what, I'm happy to see that. And we've all said it, like we all have seen Lamela come into the game. So I'm not going to give him a 4, which is 2 above Harry Winks apparently. I mean, and Sanchez. I mean,
yeah, come on.
I'm going. It's just reference. If I was to be honest, I'll probably give him like a 5, honestly, but I'll give him a 6 just because of how we've treated other. No, how we've treated other players. How we've treated other players. I'm giving him a 6.
I can't wait for part 2, by the way. I can't wait for part 2.
And I say Sanchez was a 3, Aurier was a 6.5. I really should give him a 7.
It's fair comment, to be fair, Nigel, because I do. If you're giving, I agree with what you're saying there. I mean, if we're giving players like Reguilon a 5.5,
yeah, do you know what I mean?
I'm going to keep going back to this because if we're giving if we're giving Aurier 6.5, Lamela hasn't been that bad this season. We're going on the basis of how he's performed this season, and he hasn't really played badly. He got sent off, but on the grand scheme of things, he's not had a bad season. So I'm giving him a 6 on that basis.
Oh, so do you want any more to say on him, or you just give him a 6? That's
I think I don't think he's been as bad as the likes of Sanchez, Uncle Sissoko. So I'm going a 6 just because I think when he's come on, he's done what we've needed. He's provided the energy. He's tried to sort of make things happen. And yeah, I don't think he's been that bad when he's come on. I mean, granted, next season I don't think he should be at Spurs, but if I'm going on the basis of how he's performed this season, which is what this show is about, then I think he's been fairly consistent in some respects. So I'm giving him a solid 6.
6. So Mike's giving him a 6.
Please don't include Marlon's rating, by the way, Sam.
We have to. Marlon skewed this team badly. But anyway, I'm looking at Eric Lamela. What has he done in the time he's been here? I know we're looking at just the season as a whole, but the whole fact that he hasn't been able to do much more than, I don't know how many games his average has been. This has probably been his best season in terms of appearances, I think. Maybe the earlier days he might have had more, but 23 appearances. As I said, 18 of them as sub. And 5 games started, that means. But he's come off 5 times. 703 minutes. It's time to go. Claude, rest in please. It's time to go. It's time to go. 4.5 for me. 4.5 Yeah, I'm sorry.
Savage.
It's harsh.
He hasn't played that bad this season. He hasn't played badly this season.
I'm just going off the fact that, you know what, that Rabona going out of play, that just took off a point for me because we were losing that game. And for a man to do that, no, man, can't.
He's not trying to be like, he's not trying anything. It's just he doesn't have a right foot. Like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
I better not kick this with my right foot.
You're a professional footballer. You go out and practice on the grass with your right foot. You've got all day to do that. No,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I can't big up that Rabona. I can't big it up because any other player in that team is just slotting that in with his right foot. The fact that he's done a Rabona and like it's not special to me. It's not really.
You know what the thing is though? What do we expect from Lamela? Like what did we want from Lamela, and what did
for him to run around like he said, for him to just provide energy? That's all I expect from him.
Like, he's done that though, hasn't he?
He has,
but is that good enough? Like I'm saying, is that good enough? Like to
is relative to what we're like. Lamela, from your expectations this season, are you watching him and be like, oh, like this is horrendous? Like, what did you want from him?
He's actually like the standards he set himself. He's actually not had a bad season.
Yeah.
But the fact
let's
that
go 5.5 then.
That is the fact that we're accepting that as it's just Lamela. We expect him to not impact the game that much is just a testament to how poor he is.
As a squad player and an impact sub, has he not done that?
Impacted to do what though? What apart from that goal, that Rabona, which we didn't win the game by the way. Apart from that goal, what else in the Premier League? I know he scored in the Europa, but what else has he done?
Is he not an impact sub, Sam? If you
got Martial off, yeah,
but what that's else? Like, has there not been instances where he's come on and changed the complexion of our team just because we were so down?
Changed it? How?
He's come on and been energetic. He's not come on and scored a winner or come on.
He's not come on and scored, but not every sub's going to come on and score.
Right? Okay, let me try and put it.
Certainly not.
If you come on as a sub, that means you have energy because you started the game. The other players are more fatigued. You should be able to come on and be energetic.
That's true. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy for us to be like, oh, if I was getting this, I'd run a lot.
Okay,
like,
as a sub,
not everyone does it. It's not given.
As an impact sub, you want them to impact the game, influence the game, score the goal, create something. What has he done?
I mean, the scores that we're giving, right? We're talking like we're a team.
No, I'm not talking about the scores.
We're talking about a team that's we're looking at these scores are like a team that's just hit relegation.
Yeah, I know.
It feels like it because the thing is, when we do part two will have all the high scores that we need because at the end of the day, these are the guys that have let us down. These are the guys that have let us down.
So we got to look in the grand scheme of things.
What score are we giving him?
5.5 for me sounds fair.
5.5.
I'll give him a 5.
We've got short-term memory though. There's been games where he's come on and we've been like, and we've been in the group chat and said, you know what? Well played, Lamela. Like Lamela's like people have said, oh, Lamela's not even bad. Like he's playing really well.
Okay, but we're basing it. I think we're measuring him on how bad he's been. So when somebody has a good game, which is average, we feel they play better than they actually are. So what you're saying is the same with Harry Winks. Because he's so bad, when he has a good game, we feel, oh, he's played really well. But if you actually look at it, he's not very good. You can't measure the averageness of him because he's average. And
I guess we did that. We did that.
Don't do nothing. He don't do nothing. He don't score the winner. He don't set nobody up. He don't do nothing. Yeah, he's had moments, but moments isn't good enough in an 8-year career where Gareth Bale comes back and beats.
But we're not looking at his career. We're not looking at his career overall. Though we're looking at how he's performed this season.
What's he done? Tell me what he's done.
He's ran around. He's ran around and brought the energy
This is
up.
more than we could have said for a lot of players on that pitch.
Yeah, I
more than Winks. That's why more than Winks. Winks did nothing.
He's got 2.5 more marks than Winks has. He's got 5.5. Let me show you.
I think 5.5 is fair. I think that's fair.
You've given him a 5.5.
I think
you know what I'm saying. I think that's generous.
I think we do have to look at some of the other scores we've given though.
Can we go back and include my average as a bonus episode?
No, we're not going back. Right, let's do this last player. Let's do this last player. As we can see, what the last player is. Again, there was a couple ones where you don't have to change that above thing. I'll go first. 25 appearances.
25.
25 appearances.
Minutes.
Came on as a sub 10 times and was brought off as a sub once. He should have been brought off as a sub every single time he come on the pitch, in my opinion. So he started 15 games. He should have been brought off 15 times. He should never have started any games, in my opinion. But again, I'm being harsh on him because I watched the game. I can't remember which game it was, and he was directing traffic. The brother was running around, making it look like he was doing something, but he was directing traffic. He was doing all of this business. He wasn't doing anything. He didn't do nothing. But he seems to have pictures. He's got mans on lock. He's got everything going for him to make him a G. He's actually, as Mike said, a gangster. Brother gets into the French team, gangster. Gets into Jose's team, gangster. Poch, gangster. Even Mason must have just thought, you know what, let me shut. But he had to keep him out. So I don't know what Mason's got over him, but Mason didn't play him. So I'm going 2. Sorry, that's generous. 2. Number 17, you get 2 from me, fam. 2. 2. Nigel.
Yeah, this one I'm on the hateful bandwagon car. Yeah, this has been a horrendous season. Brought to you by the same people that gave us Marouane Fellaini. He's our equivalent. You just see him suiting up to get on the pitch, and you think this is the state of our club. Like it was literally a moment of, this is my team. Whenever you saw him coming off the bench, and he runs around. He's to think that he goes and practices football every day is very surprising, because he still looks like he just got it. You know what I mean? Like someone just gave him the ball and said he was doing cardio before, and then someone gave him a ball and include this. Like it's shocking to see him, but yeah, this one I'm with you guys. I'm giving that a 1. Even
I gave him more, Nigel. I gave him 2, but 1. I'm not even going to disagree on that one. 1. If you could give negatives, you could give negatives. I was only giving him a 2 just to kind of, because Marlon gave someone a 9. I thought I'd just go ham on this one and give him 2. So Mike, let's come to you next then.
What am I going to give him? I am going to go with 2, just because he's been on the pitch. I think he's run around. I'll give him 2 points for that, or 2 marks for that. I think any of us could do a better job than him on the pitch. So, yeah. I haven't really got much to say. I'm not going to waste my energy on it. I'm just giving him a standard 2. He's lucky he's got 2, so I've got nothing more to. I haven't really got much to say. There's nothing more that can be added than what you guys already said. So 2, done.
Cool. Callum Cabs.
I'm keeping a number that's already above his head. To me, straight 0. I think there's some players who spoke about as not having great seasons. I believe that he's specifically negatively impacted our season. It's crazy because 2 years ago he was good, had a good season, but Jose's brought him on a few games under the impression that he's there to shore things up. But like you said, Sam, he just runs about and doesn't really do anything. Gets it, put the positioning's poor. He's cost us a few points. I genuinely believe I'm more technically gifted than him. I don't know how he's a professional footballer. I think he's absolutely terrible. Yeah, just not a big fan at all. But like I said, 2 years ago, he had a great season for us. So I don't know what's changed. Maybe it's because he's getting older. He must have someone's news because he's still in the France squad, even over Ndombele. Yeah, it baffles me how he's still about.
2, so 0 from you. I like that. Keeping it real. Darius.
He's only getting one because he wears a Spurs shirt. To be honest, I genuinely can't remember a thing he did in the Premier League. I'm still trying to think like something that he did that stood out or anything in the Premier League that he did to warrant any sort of rating. So I'll give him one just because he wears a Spurs shirt. And bro, the leader of the French mafia, he's a genius. I don't know what he's got. Like he said, Callum, it's got to be somebody's nudes or something because that guy doesn't do anything. He didn't do nothing, and he still got into the French squad. I can't believe it. So yeah, gets one for being a Spurs player. That's it. I'm not going to say nothing else.
Absolutely nothing. Marlon, please, Marlon.
I ain't gonna say nothing, man. I just think this just shows the Sissoko we bought from Newcastle, and this is where you have to give Poch his respect because he made him look so much better than what he was when he was playing for Spurs. And when Mourinho came, he just looked like the same old Sissoko. I don't know what people really expected. It shows management skills as well. You have to be able to know how to manage someone like Sissoko. I think he's a confidence player, and you have to make him think he's better than what he is. Because at the moment, he just thinks he's Sissoko, and which he is. But Poch made him think he was flipping Gaza or something. Yeah, or whatever. But even we had a song for him, like Sissoko. What's the song for him again? What's the song we had for him?
Bro, I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. Honestly,
I wasn't singing it.
But anyway, yeah.
I wasn't singing the song, so I don't know what.
No, you did, man. It was the same song for Musa Dembele, but we had it for Sissoko as well.
That's criminal.
We're not disrespecting. You know one of them. We're disrespecting his name. No chance.
Yeah, this season he just hasn't turned up. He's not interested. He wants to go. So yeah, I give him my lowest was a 3, so he can have a 3. I won't go any lower than that. But he wants to go. He's not interested.
My calling him Uncle Sissoko is killing me.
Even
he's just an uncle. He's just an uncle, isn't it?
It's a typical uncle, isn't it? You know what I mean? Wants to lace up his boots and let's go out and play ball, nephew. That's what he's like. Nah, he can't have like that.
His two nephews, Orien and Dombele. That's what.
No. We're not taking that.
To be honest, I think he stayed at Spurs just because he's French and to help on Dombele. To be honest, that's why he was here for so long this season.
Possibly.
So what? They can't
French
hire
speaking.
like someone who can teach French. They can't hire someone.
No, but he's French.
Why do they need
someone that can liaise with him?
So what's Bielsa doing? He goes and hires someone to speak his language for him when he's doing the interviews. Do the same thing. We don't need Sissoko to help man speak French. Come out the club, man.
So what you're saying is, Uncle Sissoko is a translator for Tottenham Hotspurs.
No,
that's what we're saying. He's a translator.
No.
Sam, can you read this comment out, please? Can you read this?
Sissoko, 1 point for managing to put his boots on, -1 for putting them on the wrong feet, so a 0. And that is proper. I'm going to read out the scores what we've got then. So I'll give him a 2. That was generous. Darius a 1. Mike's giving him a 2. Marlon's a 3. Callum keeping it real 0. Nigel giving him a 1. So come on, guys. What are we going to make for this brother here? This is the last one of the day.
Give him a 1.
Yeah, just give him the 1.
I
was gonna say save your time editing, but if you want to give him a 1, give him a 1, innit?
We've given him a 1 for that comment because he managed to put his boots on. That is actually killing me, man. That is killing me, seriously. So let's just put this back up and have a look at what we've got. Good grief. Oh man. So we've given him that's the state. So let's just go back to the ones that we started with. Okay, so this is what we've got in the house. We gave Lloris 7.5. We then moved on defenders. Doty 4.
I see Nigel laughing.
Sergio Reguilon 5. Nigel's laughing. Sergio Reguilon 5.5. Toby 6.5. We gave Davinson Sanchez a 3. We gave Rodon a 6.5.
You know that's wrong already, isn't it?
Why?
Rodon and Alderweireld 6.5 each. Nah, man. Order should be more than.
Yeah.
Rodon should be more.
No, not Rodon. No way. I said Alderweireld should be more.
Toby, I can argue that case. I think so because he has played decent minutes. Eric Dyer 3.5. I don't know how. Sergio is 6.5. Again, don't know how. Yafet Tanganga 5.5. Ben Davis 4.5. The last one that we did tonight, we have Pierre-Emile Robier 8. Harry Stinks, Harry Winks, Harry We won't say the rest. 3, Eric Lamella, 5.5. And we've got Uncle Sissoko, number 17. with
Yo, his
one,
smile, his smile. That's the one thing. At least we got a meme out of his smile. That's the one thing I said.
The lowest score of all of them so far. So that's halfway through. We've got
years of knowledge.
What's going off there? What's going off in the background there? Anyway, guys, I think we've done enough tonight. It's just over an hour and a half. We have got some more, so we will try and do this again to do a part 2, finish off the rest of these. Like, subscribe, share, comment if you're watching. If you're watching for the first time, please make sure you hit that subscribe button if you can. And if you've enjoyed it, come back and watch us. We're going to come to Callum. Callum, where can people find you as you're our guest on the show? I'm going to put you on. Where can people find you?
Once again, thanks for having me. The Twitter ads down there. I always get this wrong. The Twitter ads down there.
Yeah.
You catch me on the Never a Foul YouTube channel. I've got a Spurs podcast called Views from the Skywalk. Usually go live every Monday when the season's on, but probably go live when there's announcements whether Kane's leaving, new manager comes in. So yeah, check that out. Like, subscribe. Obviously, like and subscribe to this channel as well. And yeah, big up, Sam. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Guys, Darius, Mike, Marlon, Nigel, and of course, Callum, thank you all for being on the show today. We'll try and do this part 2. And we are now departing. See you guys later.